Kendrick Lamar's hugely popular hit single Not Like Us has been making the waves since its debut in the Kendrick vs. Drake beef of May 2024. Among other more serious allegations in the lyrics, Kendrick refers to Drake as a colonizer who appropriates black and specifically hip-hop culture due to his being half white and Canadian. But is Drake really a colonizer?
Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still double down, calling us some slaves.
Kendrick's first step in setting up a false equivalency between Drake and the colonialists is to establish an us between himself, his fans, and historical black slavery. The homie in this instance is obviously the Drizzler, who Kendrick positions outside of the us. However, Drake's half-black ancestry means he too has a history of slavery in his family. It's also untrue that Drake referred to Kendrick and his fans as slaves in the first place. Drake's line was,
"Always rapping like you about to get the slaves free,"
which is a funny line playing off Kendrick's often humorless pseudo-activist lyrics. Kendrick counters by using the us narrative as a way of mobilizing a group of reactionaries, the culture, to their perceived external threat, Drake, the biracial Canadian who just called us a bunch of slaves.
The settlers was using town folk to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same agenda.
This line is in reference to Drake coming to Atlanta from Canada and adopting some of the Southern style, with Kendrick suggesting Drake settled in the South, much like the 19th century British colonialists, which is ridiculous. The British Empire was the largest the world has ever seen. At its zenith, it controlled roughly a quarter of the world's population and landmass. This colossal achievement was built upon systematic violence, from colonial massacres and concentration camps to engineered famine and systematic torture. Does this sound like champagne poppy to you?
No.
Of course, Kendrick is ignoring the fact that Lil Wayne and Young Money brought Drake to Atlanta from Canada in the 2000s after hearing his music and unique vocal approach, which Wayne then capitalized upon for his own sound. Drake at that time was sitting on no less than a few stacks of Degrassi money, and his music career was taking off on MySpace. Implying that he needed to ravage and plunder the South in the same way the settlers did is misguided.
You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer.
Kendrick does not consider Drake a colleague, even though they're both signed to the same music corporation, or part of the culture, so instead portrays him as a colonizer. As mentioned, the British colonialists he's referencing used military force to establish political dominance over minorities. Drake learned a bit of new slang and got his hair braided.
Goddamn.
By referring to Drake as a colonizer, Kendrick once again props himself up on the black struggle, creates a victim narrative with Drake as oppressor, then uses social media influence to end a rap beef he couldn't win on the strength of his music alone. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe or comment in the section.